Oh, it is one.
Okay.
The problem with this one is this one's actually not as good as I think it would have been, because sadly people will now know what I'm about to suggest is starting to happen. But I just think it's a legit one, and you consider that if you actually look at the roster of Astralis, they should be way better than this. And so it's already started now. So my hot take, I've been thinking about this for a while, is I don't think they're going to make either major this year. Because one thing I was thinking of, which is quite unique, is this, right? On paper, just having Glaive, BlameF, and Device, that should be enough already. Like, if Device is actually already, by the way, hit the ground running, he's pretty decent form. BlameF puts up numbers all the time, and Glaive, in theory, like, we obviously give him a bit of a break when he had that situation going with his son and all that jazz. But in theory, he's supposed to still be a great in-game leader who can do some things. I mean, the veto and some of the calls at the moment maybe suggest otherwise. But the reason why I actually think they're not going to make the major is, one, I actually think those pieces, like the roster on paper looks half decent. It doesn't actually look that good in the server if you watch them. There's a reason they lose to a lot of bad teams. And more importantly, I actually think, and this is more of like a meta point, which is why I thought I'd do this as my hot take, because I think you guys will have some interesting angles. I also think if you actually look at the way Astralis plays, what has fucked them is this. Because they've fallen so low, they're not like an invite team, they're not a team that's automatically... Because they have to go through these qualifiers, dude, they actually look like one of the most inappropriate teams to win against no-name qualifier teams. Like, I actually think someone like Glaive, it's like that famous thing of, like, if you're like the fucking swordsman, you want to just fight the second best swordsman. You want to fight, if you're Glaive, you want to call a good game. You want someone to do things that make sense, that are predictable. Like, right, this is the way the game is, so I make this decision. If you play the level they're playing in these RMR qualifiers, you are just being thrown in sometimes with a stack against like a team where like 2 players are good, 3 players have never played, say what, like that is chaos CS. Right now, in that team, the joke is you'd rather just have fraggers who just fucking shoot people in the head. The last thing you want is like a real team with tactics. It's going to be really hard to get through those. That's why I think a lot of those teams struggle. So I actually think it's just the level that they're at now is going to fuck them. They're going to have to go through these nightmare open qualifier runs where if you don't know, sometimes you have to play a bunch of like day after day after day, you're just playing another random opponent. Who the fuck's this opponent? And if anyone's not seen those CCT tournaments that them and Evil Genius is losing for fun at the moment, bro, tier 3 right now is fucking mental in CS Online. They just cap all these real pro teams. And it's not that all the pro teams are like fundamentally bad. Like, as I'm saying, I think Astralis would play better in a game against like Complexity on LAN than they would against some of these teams online in a BO1. Like, it's a nightmare trying to make it through. So I think not only do they look like they're going to fail this one, I don't really see, unless they change players, why it'll change. Like, I actually think this is where they might be in that old NIP spot where NIP was a top 10 team, but they would just fail to ever make the major. Like, they would just lose sometimes before the RMR or lose to lesser teams in the RMR. So I think, well, it's called the minor back then, but yeah, I think that there's my hot take. Astralis won't even make a major this year.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Astralis is not even a top 20 team right now. Like, not even close. The thing is, like, I agree. I'll tell you why. They are operating right now with minus 33.3% of their team. Like, they have Blame, they have obviously Device, and they have the Glaive as a 3-piece kind of thing, like a core. They don't have a coach that's
true,
anywhere competent in like getting them to the level they need to be. They have Zipnix, who is somewhere in 2018-19 stuck there, and obviously they have this new kid Buzz, who is not really doing anything. I don't hear any whispers around him, any highlights, any like hype. Anything.
Bro, there's another one. You know what I said about your name? If your name's going to be Buzz, I better hear fucking Buzz about you before you join the top team, motherfucker.
There is no Buzz about
you failed your own name. That better be the one. I've got to sign this guy. I've got to get Buzz. No one even heard of Buzz before he was announced. Like when that got announced, about half of you thought it was a joke, didn't you? Like what? You mean Astralis talent, right? Like, come on.
Yeah, the thing is like the same thing with Chiron, right? Nobody heard about Chiron. He was doing well. The Fame is the next one, in the last measure. But like it's again a miss from Astralis side.
Yeah.
Like they don't have identity anymore. They're lost in their ways. They're in their game. Like some of the questionable things are happening. Devices obviously just came in. What do we expect from him? He's playing well from the like point of circumstances like that he was in last year. He's doing well. Blame is generally doing more than his share of weight, and the thing is like overall they are not even top 20. They have so many reasons. I don't understand. Is it a problem with the contract or what is it when it comes to Sipnix? Why is he still taking the spot there? Why is he still draining that organization and that team out of success and out of money? Nobody knows that. I don't think. Okay, he's a legendary player. Nobody will deny that, right? But the time has passed. That's it, right? The time it's like bringing back, like, some of these old supers, like Vince Carter in NBA, to play the star position in the team. Like, doesn't fucking happen. He's not gonna deliver anything. It's the way it is. Just get rid of him, Get rid of Buzz as well. Get a new coach. I don't know what Hamdan is doing for them, but that's a whole different subject right now. But the thing is, like, I don't know how much he can do, actually. No matter, like, if he's competent or not, smart or not, right? The thing is, like, there is so many issues in that team, in that organization right now, that they're designed to not qualify for anything outside of the partnership things they're forced or obligated to play. Right, that's the thing that is keeping them alive. They're not going to qualify, most likely, for the major unless somebody goes super nuts, like Blame and Device together. And, the other events they need to qualify is going to be very hard. They already missed Katowice. They're probably going to miss they're not going to be in Brazil, probably not in Dallas. Major is questionable. So what's left? The Pro League and Blast, and that's it? For an organization like that and players like that, absolutely unacceptable. They're not going to make the majors. I agree with you.
It's right now, judging Astralis' lineup making the upcoming major, I'd probably give them like 40% chances. But I think that it's a pretty hard bet against
Nearly a coin toss.
Yeah, pretty much a coin toss. I mean, I kind of give Big similar odds on it. I would give Big like 51% chance. Like I think they're a little bit better from what I've seen lately than what I've seen from Astralis. But like, I think them not being a top 20 team is a little bit of hyperbole here. Like, they beat OG and NIP with the first time Buzz really played with them. Like, they're actually, and they're a team that you would expect should get a little bit better. I think that Device is still probably improving, getting used to Tier 1 CS again, getting his legs under him. Blame F is still just destroying everybody. Like, this closed qualifier, he is just mopping people up completely. Also, Buzz is the 4th highest rated player at this closed qualifier, so he's farming like open quali trash too. So I'm not gonna say from eye test like Buzz has impressed me or anything like that, but it's just like he is destroying people that are supposed to be worse than him in terms of these teams. And also they like the result. Well, the thing is, like, I just think that they're clearly a top 20 team. Like that's where I wouldn't bet on them making the major at 1-to-1 odds. I definitely would not do that, but I definitely can see a world where they do it. And that's
why they can improve for the second major.
Wait. Like, you said they're top 20 team, but you wouldn't put them at the major?
Yeah, because the major doesn't always invite the best 20 teams.
Okay.
Because of the NA quality.
They're
and
not the best 20 team then. But the thing is, like, I can name other 19
you're
teams.
using the major qualification to say who the top 20 teams are in the world.
I can name 19 teams that are better than Astralis.
They're literally the betting odd favorites versus their opening match on Spirit at Pro League. Which
I know who am I betting on that one.
That one, yeah. I mean, that is a surprising.
That is a good line. I can't lie. It's a pretty good line.
Yeah,
it's a pretty good line.
I'm surprised that Astralis are the favorites in that matchup. To be completely honest, but like usually there's some truth behind those a little bit, right? Okay. So I just think like their position right now in the world ranking is tough because, like, if they were in the Asia or North America quality, I think they're making the major for sure.
Of course, yeah.
But as things, that's why I think, and I do think they're a top 20 team. But yeah, I mean, I could get behind the fact that I don't think they'll make the next major. That's where, but I don't know the second major. Like, Blame F and Device are just so good. Like, if I have any faith on any player making a return, Device has already shown a good amount, and I expect he's going to show a lot more too. So those two players alone, like, I mean, Big's done it with less.
Put it this way, I'm not saying that I want Astralis to implement military discipline on their team. I just want them to get a buzz cut. So, whatever. It's a freebie for you there. It's a freebie.
Yeah, that's good.
Whatever. See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, be a pleb and don't.